Okay folks, here we are, Friday night 9-ball again, and let's have a quick look at the brackets, and we'll see that this is a third round match on the winner's side between Mr Bill and Dizzle. It's handicapped, it's double elimination, and these two players are playing scratch, and we're just in the middle of the first rack. Now of course the 8-ball does go past the 9 into the corner. It's just a matter of getting the right angle to get down onto it. Race to 7, winner breaks. And we've got rack money on and call money as well, which means that the 9-ball has to be called. Sorry, not call money, spot money, which means that if the 9-ball was potted on the break, it gets respotted. So he's perfect on the 8-ball, just a little draw to stay on the 9 into the same pocket. Well, he's brushed off the 9, that's still fine. So Dizzle gets off the mark. And I think the 8-ball went into the top left. No real shot other than either a bank or a safety off the 1-ball. There's good cover down here at the bottom right hand corner, so you can either send the 1 down there, which probably looks the easier shot, or play the cue ball down there, but you might be playing the bank. Yep. Went for the bank, missed it, but he's got away with it, and I'm not sure what Bill can do here to try and hide this. Can try and glance off it, which he's done. I don't know whether Dizzle can see that. No, well, he's got him tight against that 3-ball. That's worked out a good safety, I think. Can he see any of it? I don't think he can. Can he? Yeah, he could. Oh, where's the 1-ball going? It's going into the pocket. Well, just when things look as if they're going to turn out bad, he gets the fluke. Balls are split all over the place now, and just needs to try and avoid colliding too heavy with this 5-ball, and he's avoided that. Kiss to 7. Oh dear, what's happened here? Well, that's unlucky. Deserved a bit better than that. So he's either going to try and kick it or try and jump. He's going to be jumping over the edge of that 4, and it's very close. Well, he played a nice little soft jump there, that was well controlled. A good angle here just to drop down onto the bottom rail and up for the 5. angle in this 6 ball is a bit too much to hold for the 7. He might have to try and take it into the same pocket that he's going to pot the 9 in, which is what he's done. From what I've seen, Dizzle looks to be on form. He seems to have a good touch tonight from what I've seen so far. So he goes into a 2-0 lead. And another ball flew into the bottom right corner. Goodness knows what one that was. It was the 5 ball. Well, this actually, like, although there's distance between these 2 balls, this actually looks a good bet for a combo. Yeah, he tried to play it. That was the right pace to try and play it at, but of course the danger was that if he did get it a wee bit offline, he was going to leave it over the pocket. So now Bill really must punish that error and get himself into this game. Now he could play this soft because the angle is going to bring him somewhere close to the 7 if he just wants to roll the 6 into the left middle. He seems to be putting bottom on it. Well, was that the right shot to play? I don't know, but he's got to get some stop in this cue ball to hold for the 7. He's done it. So the 9 ball is in the middle, or in the centre line between those 2 diamonds, top and bottom, so anywhere round about it is going to have a shot in the 9. So in it goes, and Bill's got himself onto the board. How's his luck going to be in the break? Not very good by the looks of it. Comes up dry. And no doubt Dizzle's going to attempt to cut along the bottom rail or top rail as we look. He's still got a shot in the 2. Doesn't need to worry about the cue ball, other than he plays it too soft and runs in behind that 6. But I think he's going to have this thin enough to avoid that. Well, missed the 2, and again, same thing applies to Bill. Bill has to punish these errors, and that sends a message to Dizzle to let him know that if Dizzle's going to make a mistake, he's going to pay the price, and Bill really should run this out as well. Well, that's not very handy because he's pretty straight on this 5, and he's going to draw, and he needs to put a bit of bottom and left on it. Well, I don't know what he's doing now. He moved his cue stick and he's decided to roll through with a bit of right hand English, and that's pretty good. That was probably a good second choice there, because he looked as if he was going to draw, but it was going to be close to hitting that 8, so he played it with top and right English, got on the 6, and now this is just a natural for the cue ball to come across for the 8. And the simple thing to do, roll the 8 in, a little bit of right spin, and that'll just bring the cue ball up a little bit squarer with the 9. Well, he hasn't bothered. Well, that's been well executed by Bill. 2 errors, 1 in each rack, and racks 3 and 4 by Dizzle, and Bill has duly done what was required. Cleared up twice, and it's now 2 racks all. And he gets a ball on the break, and he's on the 1. Now the problem here is if he gets the wrong angle in this 4, he's going to come into that 7 one way or another, and it needed to run a wee bit further, but he's probably, let's have a look and see what he looks like. He's going to draw this, and as long as he avoids the 6, he'll be on the 5. I'd be reasonably happy with that. And again, just a little bit of draw and a little bit of left spin I would be putting on. And this is looking good for another rack for Bill. I can't see any problems here, surely. And ideally he wants to bounce off this side rail or draw back an inch or so. Yeah, if he bounces out and gets that fairly straight, he can just kill the cue ball dead. So, from 2-0 down, Bill hasn't missed a shot, and it's now 3 racks to 2, so that's a rack run. Oh, 6 balls just been kissed in. Something else into the right middle as well. The 6 and the 7. Well, he's got a shot in the 1. It's a bit close, but he'll definitely be on the 2. He just needs to sort of stun it across. It's difficult when you're close trying to read that angle. Again, at this level, when these balls are all sitting in the open, you're thinking he's got to run out. Is he just going to drop behind this 3, or is he trying to draw back for it? Well, he's went round the corner, avoided the 9. Needs to stop, and that's fine. And I think he's dead straight. Maybe just force a little angle. That's okay. So of course, the important ball is the 8 here, and getting from that 8 up to the 9. So he's got a choice. He can either come down left or right of the 9, and as long as really he gets past that middle pocket, he's going to have a cut on the 9. Again, he's playing the draw, I think. Well, this is a tough one. You want it a bit lower than that. Oh, well, that's the first mistake by Bill. Undercut it, cut it into the bottom rail first, and I think Dizzle will make his mind up and decide that it's got to be the bank. Maybe a double bank. And it's there. So, and that all came about because Bill just finished that bit short. He needed another 10 inches run on that cue ball to make that 9 a lot more comfortable. And it's gone from a possible 4-2 lead to Bill, and it's back all square. But again, Dizzle can't get that ball in the break, and this is going to be a 3-9 combo in the next 10 seconds. And Bill just needs to get this as straight as he can. Well, that's went wrong. He's hit it too hard, and that's made this shot a lot more difficult. Well, he's got it clean as a whistle, and very quickly Bill's gone back into the lead. Now, can Bill, Dizzle can see enough of the one. So now it's Dizzle's chance to see if he can get the run out. And this is where the better positional players will be able to control the pace of the cue ball a lot better and get a much higher percentage of run-outs. Well, he could go two ways here. He could play this with left hand English and check the cue ball back up for the 4 into the right corner as we look, or he could go round behind the 9, but the danger there is colliding with the 7 and leaving it too square in the 4. Let's see what he does. Well, he's went round it very nicely indeed, and he's looking good. And this has been a pretty good standard so far, what we've seen. So the worst thing that's happened here is Dizzle's finished dead straight in the 7, I think. Can he force an angle? He's maybe going to follow through. I can't see by looking at his cue. Oh no, he's drew back. Again, we've got that big distance to travel, but he's got a big area to get into, and that's what it's all about. Now let's see if Dizzle can make a better job of it and get lower on the 9 to make the 9 easier. And that's much better played. He's a lot straighter in the 9 than what Bill finished up on. Of course the 9's a bit further away from the rail than the one that Bill had, but anyway, we're back all square again. It's 4 racks all. And in goes the 6 into the bottom left. Another one goes into the right middle, which was the 4 ball. And Dizzle's got a shot in the 1 again as well. So I'm looking to see where the problems are. The problem ball obviously is going to be the 5. The 5 pots in the top left and the top right, but it's just getting onto it in the right angle that's going to make or break this run out. And he should be in perfect position to do that now. Can just roll through or just stop it, whatever he wants to do. And he's got a nice enough angle on the 5. Might have wanted it a wee bit higher, but he can stun this in, or he can go round the corner again. Yeah, just off the bottom side. And a nice angle on the 7 to roll across for the 8 into the top left. So Dizzle is going to take the lead again. And in goes the 9. And it's now 5 racks to 4. And this race to 7. And I don't think we've really seen a bad shot so far from what I can recollect. And in goes the 9. But that's going to be spotted. Now, I don't think the 1's on into any pocket, so Dizzle's just looking for what would be a good safety. Is he going to try the bank? Because the 2 goes past the 8. I don't know whether he can make the angle. You might see it as a sort of shot to nothing. No, he just played the safety. And there's a big enough distance between that cue ball and 6 that Bill's just going to jump it. Of course, when he's jumping it, he's got no real control over the cue ball, so it's anybody's guess as to whether he's going to leave this on for Dizzle. Well, there you go. Again, what happened there? Did he kiss? He must have just chipped the top of that 6. He must have just skimmed the 6. Must have just feathered that 6 ball as it ran over the top of it. Very, very fine. I mean, I don't think he even seen the ball moving, but the game detected it, so that's what counts. The game's the referee. So it's cue ball in hand. That's an even bigger bonus for Dizzle, that one. So just roll the 2 in and make sure that if he's running through that he doesn't get behind that 8, or he runs into it and just pushes it further on. Well, he's stunned away from it, so he's fine there. And now cue ball's going to go up to the left hand side past that left middle pocket, which he has to avoid, so he can get a shot onto the 4 into the right middle. And plenty of room between that 8 and 9 to get on the 5, unless he just wants to draw back out and not even go that far. That looks like it, what he's maybe playing. Yep. And this looks all over this rack. Cue ball going back up for the 6. And he played that with a lot of inside English again to check the cue ball and stop it running between the 8 and 9. That is straightened the bounce off the bottom rail. So, Can he get this cue ball closer to the 8 ball this time? That way it makes it easier to control the positional play from the 8 to go on the 9. Well, I reckon he'll just roll this 8 in and leave the 9 into the left middle. That's what I'd be doing. Playing this simple shot. No ambitious positional shots here. That's a sensible way to play. So now that crucially takes Dizzle 1 rack away from victory in this third round match. In goes a couple of balls, one into the left middle, one into the right. The 4 went into the left and the 2 ball went into the right, and he's still got a shot in the 1 that will cut in, or he can bank it. No, again he's doing the wise thing. He's got a 2 rack lead. Why should he go for ambitious shots when he can play a much better safety? And this time Bill can't jump at it. Could only kick, and that looks pretty good, especially if it tucks in behind that 5. It's just skimmed away. Now, is Dizzle just going to dead weight this up against that 1? Yep. And again, Bill can't jump it because all the balls are too close, so he's just going to go for the kick off the bottom rail. Oh, that almost kissed the 7 in. How does that look? Well, Bill will be more than happy with that shot. And Dizzle will be even more happy with that shot. That was a great kick, well controlled, got the desired outcome with the cue ball, managed to kill it so that it was going to get plenty of cover behind these balls right in the middle of the table here. And this time Bill has missed that 1 ball crucially at the wrong time, because the balls are now all sitting there for Dizzle, and I think Bill is thinking what I'm thinking, that he's just played his last shot in this match. So it's getting from the 3 to the 5 that is the important shot here. And that's fine, and I think he'll just roll through here onto the left side rail for the 6 up into the top left. Now the 7 is buried right in that top right hand corner pocket. That's the only thing that can cause a little bit of guesswork as to how well he can get this cue ball controlled for the 8. It looks simple, but silly things can happen. Now let's have a look what he's got here. He maybe just put a little bit of bottom and just drag it, and he's got a reasonable angle in the 8 off the side rail and across to the right hand side of the table here by the looks of it for the 9. And that's pretty good. It's still a little bit of an angle, a little bit of a blind pocket. It's always something that puts a wee bit of doubt on it, but I don't think he'll miss this. Well, in goes the 9, and that was a pretty good match, pretty good standard, and Dizzle wins it by 7 racks to 4. Bill goes into the 1 loss side. Let's have a quick look at the brackets, and we'll see if the brackets are updated. I don't think they have yet. Wait to just get that refreshed. Well, Dizzle, once they do update, is going to be playing Chad Mercer, and Dizzle this time has got it tough because he's got 5 and out